Alright, so here we are. Excuse all the wind in the background. I have the tarp for the cracked end put up a little bit, but right now I'm taking out the AC core. So thankfully I already have all this taken apart already, so I'm just going to take apart the knee bolster, which is those two, and then that one and that one, and then there's some bolts holding the box in, and then we should be able to take it out, and that'll be the last AC thing in this car. So it's kind of tight, so I'm not really going to be able to show you anything, so I'll just come back when I have it all kind of taken apart. Okay, so a few 10 mils later, there was that one in the hole right there. There was that one that holds on the strap. There was that one and that one, two nuts. And then there's that one, the strap up there. I would have gotten a clip of me doing all that, but it's tight in here, and I have an addiction to not showing what I'm doing. So I have a pile of interior bolts next to a pile of interior bolts next to a pile of lug nuts next to a pile of exhaust manifold stuff next to my stinky ground cable next to old gaskets. So I'm gonna try and yank this down live. See how elegantly I can do this? Oh. Oh, hold on. There appear to be some electricals. Hold on, I'm gonna figure out the electricals. I'll be right back. Okay, electricals figured out. With elegance and grace, maybe. I'm gonna take that out. Be right back. Okay, now with rusty wiener removed. There's more? Where? Well, I don't want to come out. Hold on, let me investigate. Okay, it was the water drain pipe thing. Ta-da! Honestly, it looks pretty good. Other than that, but yeah, no more dingles in the engine bay. And it's assembled in Mexico, so you know it works. So now that expert cameraman, that little pipe right here is the thing that was holding this up, so now I can pull that out. And yeah, apparently there's a piece that helps you keep your heat and delete this. I'm guessing it's just a pipe. So yeah, that's done now. Okay, so there is a vent, like tubing you can get for like Integras that didn't come with AC, where it's just like a step down from here to where the blower motor goes, but it's discontinued. So I'm just going to take the core, the evaporator core out, and then leave this in there, kind of like what we did with the Miata. So I'll get to that right now. Forgive the Kansas-like wind. So I have my masterful table made out of 2 of the OEM Integra tires and a box that looks and smells like it's been dumped in gear oil for the past 20 years. So there are these clips. I have no idea what's going to be in focus, so I'm just going to pray. Clips. I'm just going to take a screwdriver, pop the chain. So that. Mo poppers. I'm just gonna try and snap all of them actually. Oh! Good thing I learned the right way to do it in the. Oh, we got more. We got action. Hold on. Look at that. All that weight savings. Oh. There we go. Money. If anyone needs a core, hit me up. I never got to see if it works because there was no compressor. Now that it cleaned itself out for me, there's no more schmutz in there. Take the styrofoam out so it's not so creepy. That's not important. So this will go back together, and yeah, we'll put it back in the car. So I'm gonna just put that back together since you've already seen it, and I broke clips, so because I'm a genius. Okay, so now that it looks like I did almost nothing except poke a hole down there, there is a chance that hot air will still be able to move among the vents, which would be sweet because I had to use the heat a lot to make sure that the car didn't overheat when the fans weren't working. So my feet were just being melted to the floor, which was cool. But it has a nice aluminum radiator now, which is good. So now I'm going to figure out what else to do. Okay, so here for the first time I have the belt setup how it's supposed to be. So we have tensioner for the supercharger belt, which goes down to the second one on the inside. You can't really see it, but so that the only problem is since the frame and subframe are hitting down there, the alternator cannot go all the way back. So this belt is very loose. I need to get a smaller belt because even with the tensioner for here all the way down, then it's still like super loose. And then there's this belt which goes on the outside of the alternator, and then there's that tensioner down there that goes to the harmonic balancer. And so that one, there's supposed to be a long screw that goes in the bottom and tightens it up. I don't have that screw. The guy didn't sell it to me. It's fine, I can get a new one. But so basically what it's looking like, I should probably get a new one of those belts anyway because it's super rickety, and I need to get a smaller one, this one. So I'm going to hook it all up with this size belt and get a string measurement to see how big I need this belt, and then we'll order it and hopefully we'll be able to get this together soon. Okay, so we're back. I don't know how much we filmed in the last clip, but this bracket is all tightened down. I have that one that holds the alternator down there is all tightened down, and the alternator was tightened down, and I got this belt, the new belt, but I got it too small, so I had to order another one. So now I'm just gonna go. Originally I was gonna leave the half shaft and exhaust and all that out until I got the alternator and all that figured out, but when you go under here, it's not too much in the way. I just got done. It was just 3 bolts for the half shaft, so I put that in down right there. So this is loosely in, and yeah, so we have half shaft here, and then an axle that goes here, and then there's a tensioner right here. I'm hoping the tensioner clears the axle, because that would suck if it didn't. The axle goes through this hole right here, so I'm hoping it will. But so after we get the axle on, then I can work on getting all of this suspension on. I can get the exhaust on now because I wanted to leave the exhaust off until I got the half shaft on, because it's easier to do that because there's a little more room. And I have my baseball right there. Me and Caden filmed putting the other suspension on, but we didn't keep it because it was just mostly Caden's butt in the shot. So I'll get some better shots of that just in case anyone needs any, I don't know, reference. But so yeah, I'll get to that. Well, axle in. I just slid it into the half shaft, so now slide the knuckle. I will slide the knuckle out to get the axle nut in, and then we'll go from there. I have my nice OEM Integra wheel seat and a pile of slightly rusty hardware next to me. We'll see what we can do. Cleanest road is this side of the Mississippi. So I had the brake on. It's a little stiff, but it'll free up. So now we have upper control arm nut. We have the nut for the tie rod, and then we have the nut for the lower control arm. So I'll get to that. Well, this nut may be cross-threaded, so I'm gonna run it. Because safety comes third here at Goodnight Garage. I hope I'm being loud enough for Kane's gonna yell at me. Ow. Oh yeah. We gotta jack it up so that the holes for the arm down there line up. Alright, so we have the jack. I have the bolt in it, and it's all lined up, so we just gotta tighten her down. Okay, so even though it's like 7:30, thankfully it's still bright out because it's April, so the birds are still chirping. I have an engine with no oil and a head with 3 studs and 2 nuts because one of them fell off while I was driving. So I'm gonna put on the exhaust manifold and we'll be right back. Okay, so I got the exhaust manifold on. Looks pretty good. Couple of those nuts and studs were a little scary, but I got it on. Hopefully the new gasket works better than the old one, and hopefully the wrap that I put on stays on there. That'd be tight. So now that it's late and cold, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll come back to this tomorrow.